So let me start with you.
Yeah.
Tell us about SkyWay Capital.
Yes, SkyWay Capital, this is company which is established in Estonia. We had head office in Belarus, in capital town Minsk. We are a company which have innovative technology for the transportation. This innovative technology has been created by Mr. Unitsky. He is our general constructor, and he started develop this technology in 1978. It means we have huge experiences with this technology, more than 40 years, and now we are ready with the technology. Put it to the reality, put it in the market, because many tests was done, certification process has been finished. It means the technology is ready for the implementation. Big advantages of our technology is that this is built on the second level. This is the rail system, string rail system, used for transportation of the habitants, the people, and as well transportation for the goods. The speed of our transportation system is for the habitants, for the population is 150 kilometers per hour. We have a high-speed system as well. The speed is 500 kilometers per hour. And the speed of the transportation system for the goods, the cargo system, is 120 kilometers per hour. This technology is environmentally friendly because this is fully automated system. This system can push down the rate of accidents. Of course, it is very safety system and much more cheaper as the other commercial transportation systems.
One question that a lot of Nigerians want to find out now from your companies: does your company have any operational projects at the moment?
At the moment, this system, this technology is operated in Belarus. We have built our ecotechno park. It means this is park of around 38 hectares, where this kind of technologies is running when was done the certification process. Now you need to know that now we finished now we are finishing step by step the startup phases, and now we are ready to put this technology into the market. We have signed a very interesting contract with Arabian countries. Now Mr. Unitsky focusing on this part of world, because last month we started to build our technology, our new ecotechnopark in Saudi Arabia. We started beginning of next year build this technology in Switzerland, in Europe, and now we are on the finishing with the negotiation in the Vietnam, and the beginning of next year we start project there too.
Good. Mr. Let me come to you. From your being in government, what are the major challenges, limitations of transport, modern transport system, especially in a state like Lagos State?
Well, the first one is population. Population, the infrastructure in Lagos is being overstretched. You have more people coming to Lagos as a result of seeking greener pasture. The infrastructure in Lagos is not growing as rapid as the population. And because of the fact that successive administration in the country have not been able to put enough infrastructure on ground, the resources in Lagos is not enough to cope with the infrastructural needs. That is why a lot of people are calling for the restructuring of the Nigerian state, so the state can control its resource. But in this term, I think I will want to commend the investor that owns the technology for deeming it fit to choose Nigeria as a partner to establish this technology, considering our peculiar nature. The technology runs on energy, and it produces its own energy to run, which inadvertently will reduce cost of transportation. It provides and creates clean energy. A lot of transportation system in Nigeria are run with either petrol or diesel, and these scale up the cost of transportation itself. But when you have a system that creates its own energy and drive that system, it reduces the cost of energy, particularly when it is a clean energy, through the motorized system that drives it and produces a force that creates that energy that propels it. Now, the quantum of energy that is produced, that is not used, can also be used to power electrification around communities, which can either drive the street lightings or drive establishment infrastructure like yours and public utilities. And it can also be used for securing a lot of our perimeters, particularly along the petroleum pipeline area where human activities are not visible, and that helps or aid vandals to go there and vandalize the pipeline. It can also help to power security cameras to, of course, monitor what is happening in our terrain. It will also boost tourism. You can imagine how our landscape look when you are above it, and it helps human movement at a very shortness of time. So we see it as bringing the future to now, and looking at the population in Lagos, where a lot of people have to use the road and all that, and considering the enormity of danger that is involved when you use the air transport in Nigeria particularly. We've had a lot of air mishaps, we've had a lot of near air mishap, and you must agree with me that in this climate, the safest means of transport is rail. Because it is on the ground. The fatality cannot be much compared to what you have on the air or compared to what you have with vehicular accident. With what they are bringing in, the rate of accident is near zero, if not zero.
Right. I'll get back to you. Mr. Solari, what's the essence of this technology? I mean, considering the peculiar situation of Nigeria, and as a matter of fact, the estimated cost of this project.
When we some calculations was done by our experts, and of course we are very happy that many calculations was done by the experts outside from our company, and we know that these calculations was done very done. Generally, we can say that our technology, the investment cost, the capex investment cost, is from 3 to 6 times less as investment cost for the other kind of technology. The same situation is with the energy spending. The same situation is with the OPEX, with the cost which need for repairing, for maintenance, for everything. There is the huge gap between our cost and between the cost needed for the bus transport system, for the train system, and it is why we can offer this technology. I don't want to say about the other impacts, the environment, impacts to the accident rates, impacts for the movement, that it can be done very easily, very quickly. Generally, we can say when we did the comparison that this is the right number, that 4-5 times the cost is less as for the other kind of transportation systems.
Permit me to get the sense of this. This is like a cable rail system?
No.
How does it differ from?
The basic of this system is rails. Inside the rails we have cables, strings, which is put inside, and the around the place Inside these rails, there is put a special concrete. It means this rail system needs support. Maybe the distance of the support can be 400 meters each support or more. We have technology, we have special rails which needed support for maybe the distance is 2 kilometers from each other. That it's very useful system, very easy it contracts. It is not cable system, I would like to say. This is rail system, and inside the rails are strings, which is on this construction system is fixed on the one end, on the second end, and we will not need more support system under these rails.
Sorry, you are conversant with this system, this technology. How does it differ from the technologies that we have in Lagos? For example, Lagos State had a project with China some couple of years back. And how does it differ? Now, could you just clarify that for us?
The difference is that the components that will be used for the infrastructure, based on new technological advancement, is cheaper to concrete, it's cheaper to iron, and all of that. And it's slightly not as bogus in terms of size compared to what that system is bringing. But the beauty about this is that when you look at the population in Lagos, the monorail that the government is bringing will not alone be able to serve the purpose. You're going to have a lot of people using that. You're still going to have a lot of people on the ground. So we need to also create another system that will ease in transportation in Lagos. Whether you like it or not, it has been projected that by 2030, we're going to have over 40 million people in Lagos. And are we prepared for that? So it is a way to help the Lagos government easing a means of transportation. Now mind you, the infrastructure can also be placed on water. It's easy, it can be placed in any terrain. Take for example the gridlock in Apapa, you understand? Even where you have a lot of ships still waiting to pass, this system can be pulled into the sea and it offloads from the ship. So even if we don't have enough funds to build more infrastructure at the Apapa port, all we need to do is just carry this system at different points in the sea and get these goods out after they've been cleared by customs. It will save the government money and will also save them time. Then all of the trailers on the road can be taken off. Of course, you know how much it will cost the government to build more harbor points at the Apapa Wharf, regardless of the fact that we don't have more space. So this system will just go in. We'll give you footages when you see it. You just go in, just like a small line and take it off, rather than have a very big platform. So it costs you less.
Now, Mr. Solari, one of the questions that my viewers would also want to say is, considering the cost of this project, how is it going to be you require investors now? So how is it going to be financed?
Good question. This many project we started the financing of this project by crowdfund financing. It means your people here in Nigeria will have the possibility to invest into this project, and when this project will run, they will receive income from this project. We can do the financing from the private sectors. We can do this financing partly from the town, from the city Lagos. We can involve government as well. But we know that government has no money for all project which is needed. For Nigeria, it is the way for the mass people financing put money into this project, and when this project will run, when this technology will be used, they who invested money, who paid, who helped us to build this technology, they receive after this income. This is the possibility to secure the families of people, secures the future for the Nigerians, have really serious income in the future from these projects.
I want to come back to the financing back. Mr. Ayo, how viable is this technology if it's introduced into Nigeria?
Very viable, very viable. You can do a travel time from Lagos to Abuja under 50 minutes.
That's even faster than even air traffic.
Air traffic, 50 minutes. There is nothing like delay movement and all of that. You can be living in Akure and work in Lagos. You can live in Port Harcourt and work in Oyo, Ibadan, and all of that. It will also help to grow our real estate because there's too much concentration in Lagos, too much concentration in Port Harcourt, too much concentration in Abuja. So we can use it to decentralize. And in terms of moving goods and services, it is very, very unique. We often complain that the cost of food in Nigeria is too high, but the reality is that people grow food, but we don't have the kind of story to store this food or bring it as fresh as it is required. Recently, we were watching on social media a video clip that was pushed around where people were using sniper to preserve beans. You understand? They will do this because they don't have storage facility, and people that require these beans are too far away from where the beans is being grown. Now, with this technology, you can take the beans all the way from the north to the south to the east at the nick of time for people to have. So when you have easy, quick transportation, it drives down costs. And what also brings up cost in Nigeria is the cost of the energy that is used to drive the transport system. So this is an energy that is green. It's an energy, a system that produces own energy. So it means that the cost of transportation will go down, the cost of food will go down, and the cost of living will be more appreciable. The stress that is seen all over the community will be taken off. You'll be in this system traveling, while you're enjoying yourself and also appreciating nature and all of these things. So these are things that is going to bring to us. And aside from that, it's going to create jobs because they intend to establish the factory here in Nigeria that will produce the required material that we need, and of course for maintenance. So it's a win-win situation for us in this country.
Right. Now, back to the issue of financing and investment. Your company is your company registered with any regulatory framework?
Yeah.
What regulatory framework are you registered with?
The crowdfinancing. We do the system around Europe. We do the system in Asia. We do the system in South America as well. It means the crowdfinancing can be done in any countries around the world. For this, we don't need special licenses. The other thing would be the crowd investment, but the crowdfinancing, it can be done because the money stayed here in your country. The people will invest into its technology. The money will be used to build the technology here in Nigeria. The money will not come from Nigeria to the abroad. Every money which will be used through the crowdfinancing will be used here for this technology which will be built here.
Great. Just to allay the concerns and fears of investors who might be interested in some of you, I've heard that in Lithuania, your company had a project that was cancelled due to suspected financial fraud, and another place it was deemed not viable and unsafe. Would you like to respond to this? How sound is this investment? How sound or safe is this investment?
Every time when we find serious partners, when the government say yes, this project can be built, we are able to build it. But if there is some other situation that when we will see that partner is not serious, if we see that government first time said yes, after this no, we have really no time to push the government because we have many projects which are now on the table, which are finishing now in Arabian countries, in South America, in Vietnam, in Europe. We go there where our want to be. And this is why sometimes maybe, as you said, some project is cancelled. It is not because we are not able to do something, we are not able to produce something. It is every time because the other side changed your previous decision. I think in business it is normal because there is some pushing from many side of financing side, from financing group, from the other our competitors. You know how the business is done. We every time play with the open cards. We put everything on the table. We are not blame. We every time say through what we have. This is we have. This is we can offer. Decision is on your side, and of course we need to do the agreement. And after this, when we have green light for the cooperations, we do it.
Let me come to you, Samuel. Well, really appreciate your reaction to this. I mean, considering the peculiar nation of Nigeria, the bureaucratic bottlenecks involved, how sound would this kind of investment be for investors?
Well, I don't see any government that will see a system that tends to solve problems for them, a system that tends to score political points for them, and a system that tends to write their name in gold in the sands of time and minds of men that want to throw it out. What I would implore the government to do is to create the right framework, one, to protect the citizens and security of this country. Secondly, is to protect the investment of the investor. If Nigeria is clamoring that we want investors to come in, we must develop the right framework. The thing I see Nigerian government do, or any government who want to first do, is provide the right of way for the infrastructure. Either we like it or not, the support system will move on land and on water, and people control and have regulations to this. Secondly is the safety of those who would use the transport. The right framework must also be created from both parties to ensure that every life that uses this technology is safe. The third thing is to protect the interests of both parties, or the trio parties, the investor, the government, and the user, which is the people, that will either put money or patronize the system. That is why I love the last question that you raised with concerns to regulatory framework and all of that. It is very, very germane, it's very good. What spiced up my interest was looking at the technology, looking at the merits that it will bring to our community, looking at the pain that our people go through every day to commute themselves from 0 point to point X, which at times it comes with a lot of stress. And by the time people wake up as early as 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, going to office, a distance that should not be more than 5 to 20 kilometers, and they find it very difficult to get there after spending about 3-4 hours on the road. And by the time you get there, you are worn out. It reduces productive time. It also creates a lot of health hazards on our people. And you and I know that while we're in school, we're always clamoring for good governance and all of these things. But the fact that we're looking for good technologies that can make life easy for us does not mean that we should also open the gates for corruptive tendencies or people coming to take advantage of our community and of us. And that is why I've said that we must create a legal framework that will guarantee the protection of every interest that is coming on board to make this visible.
Right. So what's the future for modern transportation system? For example, in a country like us, Nigeria, where do you see Nigeria?
No, yes, it's from one side it's very easy to answer, but from the other side it's very complicated. Now we are going to do everything with our partner. We really thanks for this, that we can start the cooperation. The next step will be to create a joint venture company here in Nigeria. Of course, we need to go through the every legislation step according the law of Nigeria, and in the close future we will have a meeting with the members of government, and when the government say yes, you have green light, we will continue to choose one possible address project here. SkyWay will create the first proposal. He will design the technology. SkyWay will do the financial part of the financial proposal, and after this we will discuss. And I hope that on the first part, maybe first half of next year, we very quickly can start our first project here.
Final thoughts, Mr. Ayub. What are your final thoughts?
My final talk is that it is a time that has come. A time that has come, and world over, they are looking for other cheaper, faster means of travel. Some are even planning to start taking a tour to space. And here in Nigeria, we're still battling on how to move people and goods on rail. We're still battling on how to utilize our waterways and all of that. And we still say that our greatest problem is to harness capital to provide all this infrastructure. So if we see investors that are ready to come in with their investment, remember that some few years back, when people came up with the idea of having cell phones in Nigeria, we felt it was utopian until they came to Ghana, and we were told that even shoemakers were using GSM phones. For us, they even went there 5 years ahead of us, and we're so pained. We were always going to some corners to tap lines and to make international calls and all that. Some companies were even told in Europe to come to Nigeria. They ran away, that the Nigerian market is so dangerous, it's not predictive and all of that. But one giant telecom, I don't want to mention their name because they've not paid for adverts, actually came to Nigeria to open the way. But the first cell phone and the GSM chip that was sold to us was sold at, I think, about 50,000 naira, which was almost a life-saving or 1 year salary for some people. Then another one came and they crashed it down to 35,000. I remember I bought my first cell phone in 2003 for 22,000 naira. And then I think the rate of the dollar was around $90 to a naira, thereabout. And years later, an indigenous company came and showed us the way that we don't even need to pay for the SIM card, that we can pay 0 kobo. I think they sold it for 1 naira per SIM card, while they were selling at 22,000 naira for, 5,000 naira for a SIM card. Then later, remember we used to flash. If you want to call somebody, you flash, they were charging us per minute. He came to tell us that they can charge us per second. And he drove the price down. Now, look at where we are. But somebody took that bold step. So I would want us to take a bold step by trying to embrace this technology and see where it will take us to. But not forgetting to put the right legal framework that will guarantee and protect everybody that is coming on board.
Thank you very much, Mr. Solari. I appreciate your comment in the studio. Thank you
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.